Hello, welcome to Discovering the World of Natural Health. I'm your host, Claiborne Holtzman. Your life, your health, your total well-being is your responsibility. And it's exciting to me that I can play a role in helping you understand your life, your health, your total well-being when it comes to share the knowledge of God's medicine. And that's what I want to do, folks. I want to share knowledge about God's medicine. And it's to all God's children that get to be involved in God's medicine for all His children. And I wish to thank all of those who over the years have given me the opportunity to learn, because I would be asked questions. I have people I love, people close to me, people not close to me, but I love the people that got me in touch with the people that were aching and having pain and looking at what was possible to be done when all avenues have been shut down, so to speak. I dedicate this show, that it is a avenue, that it is helping us to be prosper and prosper in health as our soul prospers. We have that opportunity. And I am thankful that I have an all-just and merciful Heavenly Father who has given us answers already for our physical problems. The physical problems on earth, we had every answer we needed in the Garden of Eden. There was nothing that couldn't be taken care of. And a garden, what is it for? It's for our eating. And not only that, think about the things that happen to us that give us nourishment, give us the ability to keep on keeping on. And what is that? The aroma. How many times do you take the food you've got? Well, let me back up. The food that we got, normally the aroma is coming from the kitchen of something being fried, cooked, baked, but it's not coming from the actual peach, the blueberry, the raspberry, the actual raw food itself. Most of us don't get to experience that, but I'm going to suggest you do more of that, because we need to put our energy on the food we're eating, and even the cooked food. Let me share with you what I do. When I get my plate, I take it, I set it in front of me. Yes, we may say grace and bless the food and thank God for it. But what I also do is I put my energy in the food before I eat it. Just say, for example, I've got in front of me a plate underneath my hand. And on that plate is what I'm going to consume. So what I'm doing, I am putting my hands around the plate, okay, over it. And actually, if you will pay attention, you will actually feel an energy in your hands. It's like this. I'll give you something else that you can do to help you understand, to help me get my point across. You rub your hands together, okay? And you kind of warm them up. And then you just pull them apart and you put them right here. And as you do this, you can actually feel the energy working between the two hands, combining the energy we have as individual in our bodies. And you take that energy, and no unseen thing can cause us a problem, because what we're doing, we are putting our energy on the food. So when we eat it and we swallow it, it has our energy from the outside going to the inside. It's important to do that. And the more we get in touch, everything in healing, it's energy, folks. And that's why it is so detrimental in this day and time that everything is gloom and doom and agony. You know, you got to go around, you got to put a mask on, you know, and then you got to breathe in your own carbon dioxide. You got people that already know the answer to this virus that's going on. You know, there's the item that has been able to help out. It's been around 60 years. Third world countries do not have the medical facilities and establishment we have, and they want the profit margin. And so therefore, things that are simple, things that like the silver, the things like herbs, plants, each organ in the body, each thing we have in the body is there for us. It's powerful, folks. We have our own medicine within us. And let's see if it's in there. I didn't look this one up, but it's going through my mind. I don't want to say it, but I will if I come across it. H. Okay. All right. I'm keeping on going. And because I want to share something with you. Yeah, it's here. It's here. Wonderful. I want to share something with you. There is an herb called Hawthorne berries, and it has other names, aka English hawthorn, maybush, maytree, haw, tree of chastity, quickset, thorn apple tree, white horn, cockspur, thorn, Washington thorn, red haw, summer haw. And what parts of this plant are used? The berries, the bark, the flowers, and the leaves. Okay? And what's the action? Here is what you need to understand. This plant, and every plant, has a signature. It has something that says, I signed off on this, your Heavenly Father God. I signed off on this because I know for a fact your heart was going to be broken. I tell you to come to me in prayer. Your heart is broken. I tell you to reach out and get the herb that I made for the Garden of Eden and help with your healing. So I'm using an example right now of Hawthorne. And organs affected: spleen, stomach, liver, and also heart. For many Christians, now listen to me, this is so good. The hawthorn tree is regarded as sacred. Oh, didn't know that, did you? According to Christian tradition, the crown of thorns placed on the head of Christ were made from the hawthorn. A grove of hawthorn trees still stands outside of Jerusalem on the Mount of Olives. Now, the point I am making is that God already has the cure. The cure is already there. And some of the cures have been suppressed. Some of the cures have been taken away from us because it wasn't in the profitability of the people that were in control. And one of the things that is so amazing is that people, and you think about the Indians who lived on the plains, you think about people who came from Africa to the Americans, they brought with them their own pharmacy. And they used the plants, excuse me, to stay well. They did. Excuse me. And Hawthorne berries is an excellent source for both the prevention and treatment of cardiac heart disease. It increases the heart's oxygen utilization, increases enzyme metabolism in the heart muscle, acts as a mild dilator of coronary vessels, and serves as a peripheral vasodilator, lowering blood pressure and reducing burden on the heart. Hawthorne is used primarily as a heart tonic to help improve cardiac weakness, angina pectoris, heart murmurs from heart valve defects, an enlarged heart, sighing respiratory, nerve depression, and or unexplained chronic fatigue. There is evidence that is effective in facilitating micro regurgitation, easing cardiac pain, and regulating feeble or rapid heart rate. It also helps with difficult breathing due to infectious heart action, lack of oxygen to the blood. It helps heart strain from exertion. It helps reduce cholesterol. It may also relieve restlessness and insomnia. Now, this is just not a flyby, oh, I saw this and I wanted to share it with you. Folks, this has come over years and years of seeing God's pharmacy bless his people. Now listen to this. Scientists have discovered that Hawthorne increases coronary blood flow and improves myocardial metabolism, allowing the heart to function with less oxygen. Hawthorne dilates blood vessels, allowing blood to flow more freely, and thus is effective at lowering blood pressure. In addition, it acts directly on the heart muscle to help a damaged heart work more efficiently. Recent knowledge concerning the action of Hawthorne on the circulatory system seems to indicate its active principle in providing by flavonoids, which act as a cardiac and circulatory problem by dilating the blood vessels, causing some reduction of blood pressure. Now, don't go out and just say, I'm going to try this. Use some wisdom. Google it. Read about it. And check out the scientific studies. Because here it says, scientists have discovered. So we got to put back into what's going on. What's missing. And the whole thing I was starting out with is that you know that if you have a car or equipment that wear and tear, that you have to do something. You monitor the oil. You monitor transmission fluid. You check the tires. What do we do for ourselves? What do we do with our legs hurting or aching? What do we do when shortness of breath? Or what do we need for eyesight? What do we need to put back into the body what it's missing? What can we do with that? we can learn, study, and share. I'm going to share some stuff with you, really, really cool. And I'm going to just give you an idea. And I'm just talking about one plant from God's pharmacy called Hawthorne. Okay? Uses of Hawthorne. It is very effective in relieving restlessness and insomnia. How many, when you go to bed at night and you're relaxed and you start just chilling out, and all of a sudden, boom, your legs start jumping up and down. Restless legs. You know, what's that coming from? What's the body missing? What is needing to help us? Maybe some magnesium to slow us down a little bit and help put something back in there that has to do with our muscles. Very effective in relieving restlessness and insomnia. Studies have shown that Hawthorne is excellent for both the prevention and treatment of coronary heart diseases when used on a regular basis. Studies. It's not just out there. It's available. But you're going to have to love yourself enough to do some work on your own and become a physician to yourself. Not taken away from physician that can help you and say, this is what's weak. And then what did he have or she have to give you? Will it help or hinder? How many things will it harm? But adrenal weakness, angina pectoris, arrhythmus, arthritis, atherosclerosis, blood clots, blood pressure, high or low, cardiac symptoms, dropsy, edema, enlarged heart, hardening of the arteries, heartbeat irregular, heart disease, heart fibrillation, heart valves, heart weakness, hypertrophy, hypertension, hypoglycemia, liver, menopause, nephritis, rheumatism, sleeplessness, sore throat, stomach, stress, vibrancy. I go through all of that because I know and I have seen hawthorn berries by themselves or working with things. We have got to not let history, places like we've got here close to us in Bailey, the museum for doctors, and for doctors what they did for us in the rural area and what they used to take care of the people in the rural areas before there was all of the high-class technology and big machinery. You know, a person who is a shaman, a person who is a trusted herbalist or a doctor of medicine in the Indian, Afro-American life and history, we need not let that fall down and be destroyed. Folks, history is for us to learn so we don't have to make the same mistakes again. History is critical to us. And when you don't have history, just like I'm sharing with you right now, sharing with you about hawthorn berries and what it can do and what it has done. And they say, nah, It ain't no good no more. I mean, I could even get a little bit more simpler if you wanted me to. And we can talk about white willow bark and or willow bark and what it did. Folks, you would not have aspirin if it was not for willow bark. George Washington's troops would have starved to death if it wasn't for willow bark. History is important. The love of God for you and me. He wants nothing to harm us or hurt us. He wants us to have the best life we can have and have relationship. Here is what we're missing, folks. We're missing relationships. If you go back to God's pharmacy, I talk about all the time, and you think about it for a moment, and you think about what was there and what was available for God's children. He made available for them what they needed in the plants. And I can see God in the cool of the evening walking with Abraham. No, he didn't walk. That was a little bit later. He was talking about the Adam and Eve walking in the Garden of Eden. And they were talking, sharing with them. This is what I have given you. The hawthorn berries, the white willow, the rose with the hips in it. I've given you all these things for the healing of the land. So he made it possible for you and me that I was fortunate enough not to lose out. I want to share with you. I want to share with you why I do what I do. You know, I want to talk to you and I want to share with you the parable of the 10 bags of gold. Let's just divert for a little bit for a moment. And I want you to understand why. Why is important? It's critical to know why. Again, it will be like a man going on a journey who called his servants and entrusted his wealth to them. I'm going out of town. I want things to be okay when I come back. So I'm going to trust you with what I leave behind. And in this particular instance, it was 10 bags of gold. To one, he gave 5 bags of gold. To another, 2 bags. And to another, 1 bag. Now, he gave them the quantity that he wanted them to have because he knew the ability of the people and how they would maintain and take care of what was put in their custody. And then once he got that straightened out, took off and went on his journey. And now, the man who had the 5 bags of gold went at once. Didn't waste around, didn't mess up. He just got to it and put his money to work. And he did so good at putting his money to work, he ended up not with 5, but with 10 bags of gold. And the man who had received the 5 bags of gold went at once, put his money to the work, and gained 5 bags. So, the one with the 2 bags of gold gained 2 more. But the man who had received the 1 bag went off, dug a hole in the ground and hid his master's money. What are you doing today? You hiding it? Or are you making it work for you? After a long time, the guy stayed gone for a while. The master of those servants returned, and he settled the accounts according to them. He said, now you guys have taken care of business. I'm back. Now let me settle it with you so I can take care of my stuff. You can take care of yours. The man who had received the 5 bags of gold brought the other 5. Master, he said, you entrusted me with 5 bags of gold. See, I have gained 5 more. I done good, right? Did I? The master replied, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness. Wow. Excitement. Doing what's right. Not trying to take advantage because the owner was out of sight, but giving him what it needs to make him proud. But more than anything in the world, the man who gained the 5 bags of gold had pride within himself to know that he was a good steward, that he was able to do God's bidding and show that he made a good soul. Powerful knowledge, folks. The man with the 2 bags also came. Master, he said, you entrusted me with 2 bags of gold. See, I have gained 2. Ain't that nice? His master replied, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness. Now, stop right there for a moment. Come and share your master's happiness. And because you were a good steward, you made the master happy. And the master says, we are going to enjoy these blessings together. Not because one was better than the other, not because one got 5 and one got 2. Can't look at it that way, folks. The way we look at it is we are accountable for what we have, not what somebody else has. This is powerful healing message. Healing message. The master replied, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness. See, the other thing was, these individuals got their start from the person who had something. And they wanted to share. They believed in him and gave him the opportunity. Well, then comes along the man who had received 1 bag of gold. Master, I knew that you are a hard man. No, he was an accountable man. Harvesting where you have not sown, and gathering where you have not scattered seed. So I was afraid, and went out and hid your gold in the ground. See what is belongs to you. Here it is, what belongs to you. What you gave me, still got it. I didn't do anything with it because I didn't trust you. You know? The master replied, "You wicked, hazy servant, lazy, hazy, daisy guy. So you knew that I harvested where I have not sown and gathered where I have not scattered seed. Well then, you should have put your money on deposit with the bankers, so that when I return, I would have received it back with interest. So take the bag of gold from him and give it to the one who has the 10 bags." Now, this is a lot of what's going on in our society today. You have it, I deserve it. You owe it to me because I don't have it and you do have it. No, we don't. And if that's what the preacher's preaching, need to go ahead and finish up right here. You find this story in Matthew 25:14 through 29. So take the bag of gold from him and give it to the one who has the 10 bags. For whosoever has will be given more, and they will have abundance. Whoever does not have, even what that has been given to them, take it away. Why am I saying this? Why did I go through the parable of the talents? 10 bags of gold. The ability to be able to create, to be able to love and care, and not have to act selfish about it because there's enough to go around for everybody. Quit blaming somebody else for what we're supposed to be doing. Pointing the fingers, I was told, you got this finger pointing? Yeah, there is crooked, but it still points. I've got 1, 2, 3 coming back to me. This one's going out, this one's not sure what it's supposed to do. When you start pointing the finger at somebody else, be careful, because what's going to happen? The seeds you have sown or not sown are going to come back and bite you in the butt. Or they're going to raise you up to another level where you can have the blessings of your Creator who made the Garden of Eden for our eating. I brought this up to you for this purpose. I have been given a gift. It's a gift of knowledge, information. And this gift came from my Heavenly Father. And folks, the reason I am here talking to you, if I do not share with my fellow man, the gift will be taken away from me. It is my deepest desire to invest the Lord's gift. And you are the one. You are one of the ones that give me the blessing of being able to share, to go back, because my son's health as a young child could not be corrected by the medical establishment, but I had to go to a offshoot of the medical establishment, which was an osteopathic doctor. He looks into the whole body, the whole person. We've gotten so specialized in everything we do that everybody's got to get their little cut. But I went to the osteopath, and he said, your son is dying from the inside out because of the medication that his body cannot process. It's not natural, it's a chemical. And the body doesn't like man-made chemicals. So with that in mind, I was able to be brought into a different enlightenment. I was brought into a different of time and history that is being pushed to the outside. Folks, this pandemic that we've got going on, there are medicines, there are things that are able to keep it from being gotten in the natural realm. We've talked about silver, we've talked about zinc, we've talked about echinacea, we've talked about golden seal, things that are shields that hinder things from penetrating, prevention. You know, we're in where greed is taking over. The I Got Mine Club. Why does it continue to go on? Very simple. All the people getting fed at the same table. If I'm getting fed, everything's fine. I wanted you to know by just using, I come across this in this 10 bags of gold story, very prominent story, because I want you to understand that I am coming from a previous generation that had to rely on prayer, had to rely on divine intervention, had to rely on the Holy Spirit talking to us in our heart, in our mind, in our ears, and we being able to be healed of our infirmities, forgiven of our sin, because we had to trust and obey. Now we got false hope. We got hope that says man can do it, man will take care of it. Oh, folks, we are so ignorant. Go in and look. Get your Bible concordance and look at how many times God says, I would not have you be ignorant, brethren, concerning these things. I'll repeat it. I would not have you be ignorant, brethren. Would not have you be ignorant concerning these things. So may you not be ignorant. Look at what is available for us, okay? You know, here is what I think is very important and what we've got to have. The pride of having healthy and intelligent children can be the joy of our lives. Through the proper teaching and feeding of our children and the proper care during illness, we can help raise our children to their highest potential, as well as have ease of mind and a peaceful prosperity for ourselves. Challenges the story of the butterfly. How does the butterfly get here? It's in a cocoon, and the little guy's in there, and he's stretching, and he's trying his best to exercise as much as he can, and at some point that cocoon is going to open up and it's going to fly out a butterfly. Now, people have tried. They've taken a little razor blade to the cocoon and made it so it was easier for the butterfly to come out. And guess what? Couldn't fly because his muscles were not developed. What's important to you? What's important to you? You know, there needs to be more time spent rocking on the front porch in the rocking chair and waving as the neighbors as they go by. Folks, it's almost when you go to Walmart and any other place, you got this over here, and it's got to the point that this takes away the smile, takes away people having to speak to one another, and we've gotten into a bunch of butts because of masks. And people have covered up what's going on. You know, I'm not belittling the coronavirus. I am questioning what God has available for it and what man has available for it, and what does history tell us when we've gone through pandemics previously, and how most of the time just ignored, so to speak. You know, there needs to be herbal home health care. We need to do that, and we can do that. So children are very important. The thing that is really put negative on our health, the advertising media have now convinced the majority of people here on earth that highly refined foods, man-made pharmaceutical drugs and chemotherapy, x-rays, surgery, and relieving the effect instead of clearing the cause of disease are the only way to go. We who believe that holistic methods of healing mankind are of a far different opinion. This procedure of natural healing has been used with success since the beginning of time. We believe in using any food, herbal aid, and every kind of therapy that will do good for the body and leave no side effect or after effect. No side effect or after effect. That's a good thing to use. Holistic foods are wholesome, not processed, and are of a mucus nature. The word mucus is a confusing term. As people know, we have mucous membrane, and we require mucus from our body to work properly. All other mammals of the lower kingdoms need mucus as well. They do not get it from macaroni and cheese, but from fruits, vegetables, and grains, nuts, and seeds. We can do the same. However, the mucus many of us have in our bodies is a type that is dead, low-vibrating substance that cannot be eliminated with ease. This accumulation, layer upon layer, like one layer of wallpaper glued on another. The dead inorganic mucus is a glue or paste stemming from the materials we take to our bodies under the false terminology of food. Mucus is the cause of over 90% of all diseases. We must choose food that is free of harmful mucus and see the substance we take in our bodies has life in it, not dead food stuff that brings one to death. Okay? There's things we can do. If we put the right food in, we'll get the right results. Let's clear up the present plague of disease and then start on a new life to keep health from here on out. It's a challenge to you. A challenge to you. And in the holistic program, we stress the proper use of herbs. The scriptures say that herbs are to be used with prudence and skill, and all herbs to be used with wholesome state. In Webster's Unabridged Dictionary, the word wholesome is defined as healthy, whole, entireness, totally complete, with life within, as in the original state. This rules out the process of man's interference with food's original wholesomeness by altering it to excite our taste buds. And that's what we do. All fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, and seeds are technically herbs. Some are most nutritionally, while some are, go look in the book of Ezekiel. And it says that the herbs are for medicine. Whether we use them for medicine or food, we do not believe in processing, and we do not use poisons, toxic, or habit-forming herbs. We have taught for many years that there are no incurable diseases, wherein is my belief, and this is Dr. John Christopher, you look him up. We have taught for many years that there is no incurable disease, wherein is my belief in the holistic approach as given to one of my teachings that he's done. Let's see if I can't run through this right quick. The holistic program of healing includes procedures that will restore and revitalize any part of your human body. There are several causes of physical malfunctions. Most malfunctions lead to cell deterioration or accidents that cause damage to the body. Once an organ or area of the body is surgically removed, even the holistic approach to healing is thwarted. At that point, only a miracle would restore the body. And Dr. Christopher, way back when in the School of Natural Healing, we teach that body may be renewed when we treat the cause of malfunction, not simply alleviate its effect. Traditional Judeo-Christians precepts tell us that deity alone does what our span of life will be. There is, in other words, a time to be born, a time to die. Ascribing to these principles, it seems that illogical that any person would attempt to prescribe for another the term of his living. And yet, how many times in our years of helping people with tearful, anguished person come to us having had the end of his life foretold by their practitioner? In so many instances, we have watched these individuals heal themselves using recommended holistic procedures and long outlive their predetermined demise. There's a choice, folks. Choice. Is it important to you? Quality of life you have? What you can do? When read the obituary this week, this one person that passed away, and for 20 years, they've been in a nursing home. Great, we got good care for them. But what about the memories? What about the dash of their life? What I mean by dash, the year you were born, the year you die, in between is the dash. What was their dash? What was the talent God gave that they were supposed to have, to use, and effectively teach other people from the dash of their life? We're all here for a purpose. We all have something to do and be proud of that we can share and give and leave a legacy for people to follow on with. Of course, we have pointed out that the rules of holistic healing may be followed faithfully or they may be followed religiously. The faithful person will adhere strictly to the program of help and healing and through God's pharmacy. And alarming to hear a mother say that when my child was breaking out with chickenpox, measles, or childhood diseases, he was given suppressive medication and only 2 small spots broke out on the body. Sometimes the body's got to get rid of this stuff. Oh, I got to go away from that one. Did you get it? You're important. Your life and your health are so important. What's it going to take for us to get back and hear God's voice? What's it going to take when we go to Ezekiel and learn that food is to be our medicine and our medicine is to be our food? We just got to start eating what's there that God created for us. Folks, silver, nature's natural healer. I could actually talk to you on every broadcast about silver and never run out of topics as to what it can do and how it can change the lives of people who use it. Just to give you a little bit of information, a general overview. Silver is one of the most beautiful metals that exist. Man has worked for thousands of years to purify and perfect it. Silver is classified as a precious metal, and as such has been highly sought after. Precious is a good descriptive definition of what silver really is. So many people talk about it daily, but so few actually know what it can do. We may have barely begun to scratch the surface on the knowledge of what this beautiful and amazing metal can do to help reduce suffering and possibly save mankind. Powerful words, folks. Powerful words. Silver has natural, God-given actions unlike any other metal or element that exists. There are many other elements that have value, but none have been blessed with the medicine chest of medicinal effects that silver has. For example, silver has the ability to help with 3 of the main parts of the body's healing process. Here's number 1. Silver is a natural and very effective antimicrobial. In other words, it can kill a broad spectrum of pathogens like problem bacteria, yeast, fungals, many parasites, and can even kill or neutralize deadly viruses. Second, silver can help reduce inflammation and as such can help reduce pain. And third, silver is a natural healing agent helping the body to create new, clean, healthy tissue which reduces scarring. 3 things. You repeat them? Okay. Okay. Silver is a natural, very effective antimicrobial. In other words, it can kill a broad spectrum of pathogens like problem bacteria, yeast, fungus, many parasites, and can even kill or neutralize deadly viruses. Secondly, silver can help reduce inflammation and as such can help reduce pain. Thirdly, silver is a natural healing agent helping the body to create new, clean, healthy tissue, which reduces scarring. What I have attempted to do on this broadcast is to give you something to think about. 1, history is important. Medicine from years past is important, especially when the medicine, the plant, is medicine, was created by the Creator of the bodies we live in. Therefore, God knew what was going to need to be put back into our bodies as we eat, sleep, breathe, and go about our daily lives. So God made that possible for us. Let your food be your medicine. Let your medicine be your food. And remember, God created us from the elements in the earth. Same number of elements in the earth in our body. God is good. He loves us, and He wants the best for us. May you be the example He wants you to be and as healthy as He wants you to be, because you're using His pharmacy. Let us know how we can help you at Remedy This Naturally. I'm Claiborne Holtzman. May good health be yours, and God bless.